But Sarah couldn't tell who she was calling, so she tried to edge closer, one step at a time. As Sarah got closer, she could hear, "Metro City Police, how may I help you?" The neighbor said, "Yes, hello. My name is..." Bueno. Sarah had run into an end table. The neighbor turned. She saw Sarah. Her eyes grew to the size of apples. Just as the neighbor was about to let out a shriek, "Da-dum!" The neighbor's body fell to the ground. Timothy stood over her with a frying pan in his hand. Sarah started freaking out. They could hear the phone on the ground. "Yes, hello, ma'am? Hello?" Sarah didn't know what to do, so she just picked up the phone. "Yes, hello. I'm sorry. I was calling to report that my dog was missing, but he just came bursting through the door and knocked me over and knocked the phone out of my hand. I'm so happy he's back. Thank you for your time," and hung up the phone. What was she doing? Sarah knew she was in over her head. Not only did she have her roommate and her boyfriend over in her apartment, tied up, but now she had a neighbor knocked out on the floor. She tried to get her mind together and gather her thoughts. She said, "You know what, Timothy? We can leave her here. We need to go handle what's happening in our apartment because then she doesn't have anything on us." As they're walking back, Sarah's replaying everything in her mind because it had all happened so fast. Then she looked at Timothy and said, "Wait a second. Did you say you dropped the anti-venom?" Timothy said, "Yeah, but you said not to worry about it because the snakes are still in the cage, right?" Sarah looked at him with her eyes large and beaming and said,
"Damn it, Timothy. You go clean up at the neighbor's house. I'll go clean up at the apartment, and I'll work on the exit strategy. You just go, 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 go." So Timothy goes back to the neighbor's house, and on his way to the neighbor's house, he can't help but to think, did we just kill somebody? Like, did our plan just go bad? Am I going to jail for life? Am I accessory? Damn it, I dropped the anti-venom. Oh, gosh. No. Am I supposed to kill this neighbor? So as Timothy goes into the neighbor's house, he grabs a knife off the kitchen counter and walks into the room with her. And the neighbor comes to him and is like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this." And Timothy goes, "Well, I have to. I have to. You know, I really apologize. Things have gotten out of control. And I think this is what I'm supposed to do." And the neighbor says, "No, you don't have to do this. I think I can help. I know I can help, in fact. I was trying to help Sarah, but it didn't work." And Timothy goes, "What do you mean you was trying to help Sarah? How was you trying to help Sarah? How was you trying to help me? You could have helped by not looking into the apartment." And she goes, "I only looked into the apartment because the schedule changed and they wasn't leaving and coming like they normally do." And he was like, "They? What are you talking about?" And the neighbor goes on and says, "Well, they would buy their drugs from me. And then when they buy their drugs from me, they would go up and they would administer them to Sarah. And, you know, the roommate and the boyfriend would always sleep together and, you know, hang out together and spend time together. And I always wondered, you know, why Sarah never said anything. But I know why now." And Timothy goes, "Well, what kind of drugs was you giving him?" And she was like, "Well, I was giving him stuff from diarrhea to memory loss drugs." And Timothy goes, "Memory loss drugs? You have some of those?" And the neighbor says, "Yeah, I have all type of drugs." And Timothy goes, "Well, where are they?"
"They're in my safe, but I only have 2 vials left of the memory loss drug." Timothy starts to freak out. He's like, "Well, grab those, and we're going to head back over to Sarah's apartment. She'll know what to do." Well, in the meantime, Sarah's heading back in her apartment. As she gets to the door, she hears the boyfriend screaming. So she opens the door, and the first thing she notices is the cages are open. Both cages are open. And her biggest fear starts coming because she knows the North African East Asian Burmese python rattlesnake is one of the most dangerous snakes in the world, and it could be anywhere. And the boyfriend's screaming. He's like, "She's dead. She's dead." And he says the roommate's already been attacked by the snake. "I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at." Well, just as he finishes saying that, Sarah hears a rattle. And as soon as she looks to the corner of her eye, she sees the snake. It lunges at her. She jumps, rolls out of the way, just nearly misses getting bit. She gets behind the boyfriend, uses him as a shield. The boyfriend's freaking out. He's like, no, don't use it. Untie me, help me. And as she's trying to help him, The snake's starting to move towards them, slowly slithering and keeping an eye on them. And then there's a knock at the door. And she yells, Timothy, the snake's out, the snake's out. Timothy busts through the door with the neighbor. And the first thing they do, the snake turns towards them, gets ready to strike. Soon as he curls, Timothy grabs the neighbor, sets him in front of her. It lunges and it latches onto her arm. The neighbor's freaking out. And then within 2 seconds, she drops. So now we have 2 dead bodies, Sarah says. We have 2 people that are dead from the snake. I was trying to untie the boyfriend because I didn't know what to do. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go from here? Timothy says, I have an idea. Here's what we can do. We have 2 vials of memory loss drug. Here's the plan.
Pop! Timothy punched Sarah's boyfriend right in the face, knocking him out cold. What the hell did you do that for? Sarah said. Because this is how the plan's going to go, Timothy repeated. It was as if Timothy had some sort of control over the snake because when he whistled, the snake slithered over to Sarah's boyfriend and bit him right in the arm. You could tell the venom was coursing through his veins, and after moments, he was dead. About that time, Sarah noticed her roommate was beginning to stand up. What the hell? I thought she was dead, she thought. About that time, she noticed her face had a smirk on it. So Sarah's roommate began to say, You didn't really think Timothy would be on your side, did you? You're the one that stands between him and a bonus every single month for winning Employee of the Month. Not to mention, as soon as you told him about your little plan, he called me to warn me. He admitted that he was still in love with me and he wanted to get back together, that he couldn't let you harm me. So I told him to follow my instructions exactly, and we could get rid of you, and me and him could get back together. I told him to go ahead and let your boss know. Sarah's been asking lots of really strange questions about sedatives and about our snakes. I don't know what it's about, but it's just been strange. All to set seeds for what's happening right now. Yeah, you caught me and your boyfriend cheating. And when you did, you came with us with a snake to our apartment to extract revenge. Unfortunately, our neighbor walked in and caught you, so she got bitten too. Your boyfriend was the first one to go. But then right as you were about to try to get the snake to bite me, it turned on you. Right then, Timothy whistled and the snake bit Sarah's ankle. The world started spinning, and all she could hear was her roommate saying, You tried to play, Sarah, but you lost. Game over.
You are now listening to the Cinnamon and Sugar Podcast featuring D'Angelo Williams and Gary Barnage. You push play and they'll push the limit.